Well, it's been a long road on this Woody, and as it got closer to the end, after we got back from SEMA, there was so much stuff and so much redundant work and so much other stuff going on in the shop. I haven't had time to do my video and edit and posting. So I wanted to give y'all one last look at it. I wanted to give Bruce a look at it with it completely finished now. So we're fixing to do a walk around of what the Woody looks like. It turned out wonderful, and I'm glad it's finally done and everything working properly. Keep in mind, this is what it looked like when we started. There was nothing left from here down. It completely rusted out. This car was so rusted, even the interior trim around the windows was translucent from rust. We have skimmed, wiped, and done all the metal work. And underneath here, it had the terrible original 50 model frame with the flathead V8 and all that. So we went in with the new modern 08 model chassis, full box frame, 4-wheel disc brakes, 4-wheel suspension, 4.6, 6-speed automatic. I mean, the best of everything as far as suspension and driveline goes. So now let me get this out of the way and I'll show you what this looks like. And here it is, finally. And this has been a lot of work. I've over 4 years and probably close to 4,000 hours in this vehicle here, and it just turned out phenomenal. All the woodwork is done well, the paint work is done well, and has all the creature comforts of a brand new car. This thing has delayed wipers. I put the squirter in it up here where the squirt the window if you wanted to. Like I said, these are delayed, high speed, low speed. They work just like they did on the Explorer. Every bit of the Explorer's in there, and every bit of it works just like it did. So let me open up this hood and I'll show you what it looks like under the hood. Now under the hood here, get it opened up. We've got our 4.6. Everything about the Explorer is located in the original Explorer spot. None of the components have been changed. That way you can buy any one of these parts at your local auto parts store. Put the washer tank back in it for the windshield. Just everything that the Explorer had is still here and just runs like a sewing machine. We'll start this thing up here in a minute. The electrical panel, the fuse panel, I hid inside of this fender, and that's all inside there. I've got a jump station for the battery because our battery is now in the trunk because I didn't have a place to put it up here. And it all works great. Air conditioning, just all the creature comforts of a new car with an old look. When I'm driving this thing around, I put about 50 miles on it. You wouldn't know you were in an old car. From the inside, it drives like a brand new car. So let me give you a look at what it looks like on the inside. This interior, I want to give a big shout out to Jan Von at Stitch by Stitch. He did an outstanding job on our interior. You can see all the woodwork that we did here, and then the leather work that Jan did at his shop. This is a hanging headliner. I've put 1,000 LED lights in here. It's all hooked up to the Ford computer. So when you walk up to this car and you hit the key fob once, the passenger door opens, the headliner light comes on, hit the key fob twice, both doors unlock. When you're driving down the road, you get up to 10 miles an hour, both doors automatically lock. Everything about the Explorer works just like it did. We still got an alarm system on it. I've put a backup camera in the rear view mirror so that you can see behind you when you put it in reverse. This screen turns into a backup camera. We fabricated all the indicators for the Explorer that you need to know, like check engine light, cruise, traction control, and all those features are done right here through fiber optics. Behind the dash here, I have the original cluster back there running just like it did in the Explorer. And then I have tapped onto the LEDs there with fiber optics, and they run into here, and it turns those on. Also in the dash here, let me turn this on so you can get a look at this. I removed the screen out of the instrument cluster, and I had it installed. Classic Instruments made me this custom instrument cluster, and we reinstalled the screen in here. So this tells you, like, the lift gate open, miles left till empty, oil change cycles, all that's in here. And you can see here in the this display, the door jar, if you turn your traction control or your overdrive off, all that's done through fiber optics. And that's all working perfectly. Let me show you where my air conditioner controls. Trying to keep all the Explorer stuff in place. There's the AC controls, and they all plug right back in just like they were on the Explorer. So every piece of that you can also get at your local auto parts store. I wanted to make this car completely serviceable in every way. Cruise control works. Everything works just like it did. So I think that's about it on the interior. You can span around and get a good look at it all. All the sliding glass works. All the 3-row seating folds down, makes a flat surface. So yeah, this turned out pretty nice. Let's go to the rear hatch and take a look at this. Before we do that, though, I want to show you what Jan Von did on my speakers. Look at those speaker panels he made on the door panels. That's nice. Absolutely wonderful. And then he made some for the back. So big shout out to Jan. Thanks for helping us out on this interior. Shot of what it looks like from the driver's side, and you can see how well that blend did. Keep in mind this dash has been raised, sectioned, the faces angle's been changed, just a huge amount of work. All this trim has been cut and chopped, and just a ton of work in that dash area. But it all turned out pretty nice. There was a huge amount of work done on this car. Keep in mind, everything was rusted out and gone from here down. This hatch was totally rusted out and gone. Everything around it was rusted out and gone. These were rusted out and gone. We had to fabricate and patch metal like you would not believe. But look how it all turned out. It turned out wonderful. The spare tire used to be in a pocket right here. I got rid of that, and it still has the original crank down spare like it did on the Explorer. But it's one of the wheels that I used on the Explorer. I bought spare tire rims, and then I modified them to hold the hubcap and the trim ring, and bought 5 of them. So the spare looks just like the wheels on the side, which are the original Explorer spare tire rims, and they turned out wonderful. Right here, I fabricated this little shield over the rear camera. That turned out real nice, and this rear camera, you can see right down here to our hitch. There will be a rear. I've got a slide-in hitch for it if it wants to pull a trailer. Every bit of that tow package was on the Explorer, and we made it where it worked out perfectly with the Woody here. So inside here, and this all works just wonderfully. Let this down. Look how the tail lights do. So there was a lot of time and work in making these tail lights land level this way, and then open up and land level that way. Because I had to change all that geometry a little bit because of the way this tail pan is now. Not having the spare relief in it. Everything you see in here was destroyed, or just rusted and gone. These were all curled up, and we had all those re-chromed and worked. All the Explorer seats are all back in their original spots and located, and this all lets down. Those seats let down just like they did. You can look up and how that headliner looks from the back. The headliner just turned out wonderfully, and that's all dimmable. And like I said, hooked up through the computer. But back here is the original trunk for the Explorer. Just a little storage pocket, actually. So in there, all the Explorer stuff is back in there. His custom-made rear receiver that goes right in, that fits like a glove. The owner's manual to the Explorer is in there. His tool for the hubcap tool is right there. It moves his hubcaps. And then all this is the original jack and lug wrench and all that for the Explorer. Crank down spare is right here, where you just crank your spare down just like you did. Also, let me show you this. I put a master shutoff over here that shuts the entire car off except for the hood light under the hood and the clock in the dash. And they're both on fuses straight to the battery, which is over here, is the battery. So that worked out wonderfully. But I wanted to show you, I've got an onboard charging system for this thing. So since the battery's a little hard to get to and the front's a little hard to get to, under this tail light I put a tap that's ran right to the battery, and you just unplug it, plug in your onboard charging system, and then when you're done, you tuck it away nice and neatly. And yeah, that's about it on the Woody. So I'm going to get Jeff here to go around it. Jeff's helped me through this whole thing, and I thank you, Jeff, for helping me. It's been a lot of work, and Jeff's going to go around here and do a little walk around on it, and yeah, the Woody is done. shot of what the engine looks like. Sitting there. Just running. Very smooth. It's shoehorned in there. Turned out very nice. It is definitely the only woodie like it.